Before you panic, remember the 5-year rule in real estate.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michelle.
And I'm John, and today we're talking about something we think every homeowner and buyer needs to hear. How to keep perspective when you're watching home prices go up and down.
Yeah, there's been a lot of noise in the media lately about home prices dipping in some cities. And while those headlines can cause some anxiety, we want to offer you a more grounded, data-backed perspective, one that takes the long game into account.
So let's start with the big picture. Home values always go up over time. There may be short-term fluctuations like the ones some markets are experiencing right now, but historically, the long-term trends has shown strong growth.
Yeah, so let's bring up the first graph. This shows the year-over-year change in home prices, seasonally adjusted. Even with a few dips, the long-term trajectory is clearly upward. And it's important to remember that the 2008 crash was an outlier caused by a very different set of circumstances than what we see today.
Yeah.
Things like loose lending practices or low equity and an oversupply of homes that we're just not seeing today.
Exactly. We're in a much more stable market now. Lending standards are stronger. Homeowners typically have more equity.
I think that's important to hear. We're in a stable market. Now let's talk about what we call the 5-year rule. The idea here is pretty simple. If you plan to stay in your home for at least 5 years, the short-term market shifts don't really impact you.
Why don't they impact you? Because over a 5-year window, the odds are overwhelmingly in your favor that your home will appreciate in value, even if you bought during a dip or during a slower growth period.
Yeah, and let's be honest, the value of a home goes far beyond the price tag. Maybe your home hasn't appreciated as much as you'd hoped it would in the first couple of years, but if it gave you a better commute, a beautiful yard, some peace of mind, that's super valuable too.
Quality of life matters. And when you combine that with the long-term financial benefits, it's clear that home ownership is still one of the best investments you can make.
Mm-hmm. So let's take a look at what's really happening in the markets that are cooling off a bit. You'll see that while a few major metros have seen a recent price dip, only about 2.9% on average, they're still way up over the last 5-year trajectory. 5-year time.
It's important to point out that Portland isn't on this graph, but this trend applies here too. Even if you don't see massive year-over-year jumps, we almost always see gains over a 5-year span. Real estate is a long-term game.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And it's not about timing the market perfectly. It's about time in the market. If you're thinking about buying or selling, zoom out. Your strategy should reflect years, not months.
And if you want even more reassurance, take a look at this. Every single state, every one, has seen home prices increased over the past 5 years. That includes states with cooler markets today. This kind of widespread growth is exactly why the 5-year rule exists.
Yeah, we're all talking about how the past 5 years has seen some unprecedented times. And with that, home prices have gone up a staggering 55%. The next 5 years are maybe still a little uncertain, but real estate experts agree that appreciation will still happen, about 3 to 5% year over year, which feels much more normal. That said, this doesn't even factor in things like building equity with each mortgage payment or the tax benefits of homeownership. Those are huge wins, and even during slower growth periods, those huge.
So, if you're feeling nervous about the short-term headlines, remember, home values tend to grow over time, especially if you plan to stay put for 5 years or more.
Most people do. And don't lose sight of what really matters, how you live in your home, the lifestyle, the neighborhood, the peace of mind, your yard. Those are all really a big part of your return on investment.
If you're making decisions about buying or selling, We're always here to help you take that long view with both the numbers and your goals in mind.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. That was good. Good energy. Well done, John. I love doing my with you.